Okay, then here we are again. Let's try not to knock anything over. So, quite an exciting one. This is going to be an opening from Caledonian coins. Let's make a bit of space. Put these to one side. We'll go up to those later. So this is a swap which I'm receiving. I basically sent Caledonian coins a AJ01 King Charles III £50 note for his collection, which was in almost uncirculated condition. I know he'll debate that in his video, but let's get in and see what I've received. Well, I know what it is, but let's show you all. Oh, this is very challenging. I should have bought something to open it with ready for the video, but never mind. Anyway, we are in. That's probably going to be it in there. There's a lot of other stuff in there as well. A padded envelope. Thank you. That's very nice. Nothing inside, obviously just to protect the note, I presume, but that will be used to send something else. Right then, here we are. This is going to be a lovely green £50 note. Wow, look at that. Isn't that fantastic? Inverness Castle. Lord Islay. Absolutely brilliant. Look at it. And it is A1. It's a very low serial number from the 14th of September 2005. But what a nice note. For 20 years old, you can't really complain at that, can you? But this is the first, actually no, this is not the first green £50 note I've got. I have one of the older Clydesdale ones, but I do not have any of the newer versions like this. So that's a very welcome addition to the collection. Right, and let's go through some of the things that I have managed to acquire recently. So these are some finds that I've had at work. So we'll start off with the 20p's. This is quite a nice Falkland Islands 20p from 2004. It is a coin I already have, as of most of these, but still quite nice. You don't seem to see the Falkland Island ones too often. There is also a Gibraltar one as well from 2012. Yeah, bit of an off-centre strike, as you can see a bit of extra metal around the edge. Still quite a nice one. Right, there's another territory. This is a Guernsey 2p from 2006. This is not a 50p, but it was in the 50p's. This is from the Gambia. It's one Delassie, and a bit of a spoiler alert, there is an Olympic there. But just in size comparison, very similar. Slightly thicker, and it does have a reeded edge as well, which is a bit different. But yeah, thought it was a bit interesting, and for 50p, you can't really go wrong. We'll get back to that in a moment. This came from the car boot. That's a commemorative Canadian 10-cent coin, which is made of 80% silver. That's 100 years of the Confederation that they're commemorating of that one. Quite nice condition, still a bit of mint luster, a little bit scuffed, a little bit of toning, but I'm happy with it, so I'm going to be keeping it just like that. And look at the condition of this. We are not living in 2012 anymore, we are living in 2025, but this coin looks like it is still from about that time. Anyway, enough teasing. It is a relatively good one. It is tennis, a very welcome find. And also, this is the very first Olympic coin that I found, which is what got me into collecting in the first place. So it's always a joy to see this one again. So very pleased with that. And we're not done yet. I got this from the car boot. So there's a bit of everything in here. I've already cherry picked some of the nicer ones. So let's show those first. Oh, this is really bad. I need to know where Helvetica is. I think it's Sweden. I really can't remember. This is bad, but that's a silver coin. I know it just because of the toning and the colour. Very nice though. And there's some more familiar stuff in here. There's a 50% 3p from 1936. 50% shilling, 1934. Here is a sterling silver one. Edward VII, a 6p from 1903. Not bad detail considering its age. And it's nice to have something sterling as well. I'll put these over here. And look at the condition for its age. This is a farthing, George III farthing. Still with so much detail. I'm going to try and zoom in without knocking the camera over. But look at that, you can see all the braids in the hair, all the text, or in numismatic terms, the legend It's still completely legible, even the reeded edge. There's not many dinks in there at all. Look at that, Britannia sitting nice and proud. I still think that's very sad that we don't have Britannia on any of the new King Charles III definitives, so a bit of a disappointment. Zoom back out. And the camera's not knocked over. Fantastic. Right, so those are the stars of the show from what I got from the car boot. There is a lovely 10 bob note, though it has got a little bit of writing on it. I won't hold that against it. That's obviously pre-1969, before the 50p came along and replaced this note. A bit folded, but doesn't matter. And here is a big pot of goodness. So let's just go straight for it, tip it all out on the table, on the sketch pad, which is what I'm using to film this on. So let's get all these out of the way and we'll just dive into what's there. Also, there is a cat badge here as well, which is fascinating because I used to be in the Army Cadets, so I'm always welcome to see a cat badge, which is quite rare. What does that say? Fear naught. That's very nice. I do not know what regiment that is, but still very nice nonetheless. It's obviously mounted onto some brass looking plaque. But right, let's get this out. Ta-da! A mess, but a mess that I love to see. A mess of shiny metal discs. So there is Canadian, a $2 coin, which is very nice, otherwise known as the toonie over there, which is a genuine one. Well, I believe it's a genuine one because I've heard there's a lot of fakes over there, a bit like the problem we have here with the £2 coin. What else is there? There's quite a lot of Canadian. There's a few dimes as well. None of these are silver. I have had a quick glance over through these. There's a very worn halfpenny, looks like a metal detecting find. Something I used to do quite a lot when I had the time. More Canadian. There's plenty of euros, or spendable euro cents. I think there's something like €2 worth of like the gold coloured ones. I think it's Nordic gold or something. Majority of French. Some old large 5p's, 2 bob. What else is there? Is there anything a bit more interesting? A slightly newer portrait of the Queen, a Canadian portrait. 2015, a bit newer. I think that's one of the newer ones in here. There is a Canadian dollar coin from 2013. And that is a loonie rather than a toonie because that is just one. Is there anything more interesting worth showing? I believe that is everything. The majority are just other euro cents. Canadian, variety of ages. When I saw this one, I remember seeing this one and thinking, that might be a silver dime because look how worn it is. But no, it is, I believe, 1974, so no silver content in that one, unfortunately. Here's something worth noting. That's 1867 to 1992. I cannot remember. I think that's 6, 7, 8. No, that's a bit weird. 135 years. Bit of an unusual time to commemorate something like that, but never mind. Still quite nice though, in comparison to the normal ones. Oh, that's a quarter. In comparison to the normal ones, which feature just the standard date beneath, this one has the commemorative date beneath, which just makes it a slightly different variety to look out for. But yeah, anyway, that is the video. If you've made it this far, thank you for having a look. And I'm going to be trying to upload a bit more now I've graduated from university, so hopefully see you on the next video.